I call to order the Town Council regular session at 7:35, and the date is Monday, September 10th. If you could please all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Could we have the roll call, please, Dale?
Council President Whaley.
Present.
Council Vice President McAtee. Here. Councilwoman Eddy.
Here.
Councilwoman Fogarty.
Here.
Councilman O'Neill.
Here.
All members present.
Thank you, Dale. And if we can all make sure that we keep our mics on, they're turned on now. And I'd like to just start this meeting with a moment of silence. Tomorrow is the 11th anniversary of September 11th. And I ask that everybody please remember all that lost their lives and their families, the police and our firefighters and emergency MEMS men and women that served the people during this tragedy on September 11th. So if we could please have a moment of silence. Thank you. Which brings us to the approval of the minutes of previous meetings. We have the work session, August 27th, 2012.
I move approval of those minutes.
Second?
Motion and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstention, motion carries 500. We also have the regular session, August 27th and August 29th.
I move approval of the minutes for August 27th and August 29th.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. We also have the closed executive session of August 27th, 2012.
I move approval of those minutes.
Second?
Motion and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Would anyone like anything, anybody would like anyone, can't even talk today. Any council person like anything removed from the consent agenda?
I move approval of the consent agenda.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Which brings us to licenses. This is a resolution granting a miscellaneous permit to conduct skiers inaugural 5K walk run on Sunday, October 28th, 2012 at 9:00 a.m. in South Kingstown Kias Incorporated, 109 Kersey Road, Peacedale, Rhode Island, subject to the execution of a hold harmless agreement indemnifying the town, issuance of a certificate of insurance naming the town to an additional insured in the amount specified by the risk manager, and the Rhode Island Department of Transportation approval. Application by Julie Conti, Vice President, Cedar Hollow Road, Wakefield. This is new, and it's continued from August 27th. Do we have Julie here? Any communications, Dale?
No, she was notified that she had to appear last meeting as well as this meeting. I don't know where she is.
Okay, we will hold off, and hopefully she will come. Somebody can just remind me if I don't go back. Second license is a resolution granting a Class F1 19-hour beverage license to the Southern Rhode Island Chamber of Commerce, 230 Old Tower Hill Road, Wakefield, Rhode Island, for a charity event to be held on Thursday, September 27th, 5 to 8 at Palisades Mill, Kingston Road, Peacedale, contingent upon a firefighter detail on site. Application by Richard Pike.
I move approval of license B.
Do we have Dick Pike here? We need to have him be present, Polly.
Oh, I'll hold that too. Julie Conti's.
Julie, welcome. We'll give you a minute to settle in. Now, we have, well, we're going to hold off on B because Dick Pike's not here. But if you would like to come to the microphone and just tell us a little bit. I have read the license, what we have on the agenda, and if you could just tell us a little bit about the walk race, that would be great. Welcome.
It's going to be called the SCARES 5K, and it's for South Kingstown Cares, which I'm sure you're all familiar with that organization. It's a nonprofit that recruits, trains, places, screens, all of that for all the volunteers that work in all of the South Kingstown schools in the school district. And this is just a new fundraiser that we have planned. It's kind of the old the pumpkin run that the Y used to do. It's just the big loop around Broad Rock, Saugatucket, and Kingstown Road. We're going to do it in a clockwise way so that we're on the inside of the circle, so there's really no traffic crossing very much except for right at Broad Rock Middle School where it starts and ends. We'll probably have a police officer at that point to get it started and finishing at that point where people will be crossing the street. We have a whole safety plan. We have a nurse that will be on site with medical supplies if needed. I'm not sure what details you need. All the proceeds will go to South Kingstown Cares and our programs. It'll be insured by the USATF. We've applied for the sanction from them, and that provides insurance that will cover you and the schools and everyone.
Great. Let me see if we have questions here at the table for you. Any questions? Polly?
Julie, could you just mention one or two of the programs that CARES does?
Yep, we have the Classroom Volunteer Program. I'm the Vice President of CARES, so there are 4 very active programs. The Classroom Volunteer Programs, and we place them, we respond to requests by all the teachers. They put in requests for volunteers to be in the classroom, and we put them there. The Mentoring Program, which is our real special program, and we match one-on-one adults with children that have been identified in need of a mentor, a one-on-one adult caring relationship that happens on school grounds once a week for 1 hour. We have the homework clubs that run for most of the year, and that uses students from URI as well as other community members, and we give kids a place to do their homework after school twice a week, depending on which school they go to. There's also the Career and College Center at the high school.
Thank you very much.
That's
You
it.
do so much, and I just wanted people to be reminded.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any other questions for Julie? Carol?
Julie, how much is the entrance fee for the walk or the run?
It's 22 online, if you go through active.com. Organization Plus is going to be doing the timing and registration, and if you register that day, it's 25.
Thank you.
Any further questions?
I move approval of License A.
I'll second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? I just want to say that thank you to all that CARES does
Oh,
for
you're
our
welcome.
community.
It's a pleasure. It's
Wonderful.
a great organization.
It is.
Mhm.
Okay, ready to vote? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Congratulations, Julie.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Okay, we will hold License B, and we'll move on to Communication B. This is a copy of a letter dated September 6th from Richard Goldstein, City Clerk, to Governor Chafee, conveying the Pawtucket City Council's request that a fixed share of the state's 2012 surplus funds be provided to cities and towns to be used for deficit reduction is received, placed on file, and the Town Council further directs.
We discussed this at the work session, and we decided to place this letter on file.
That's a motion. Do we have a
That's
second?
a motion.
Motion and a second.
Second.
Further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Which brings us to comments from interested citizens. This is the time if anyone would like to come to the microphone. Any town council member have any statements for the good of the order? I do have a few. I just wanted to let the public know that probably about 3 or 4 weeks ago, and I should have mentioned it earlier, we had a tour. The town council got invited to the Sons of Liberty, and it was a tour of the distillery, and they do that on Saturday mornings, and it was very interesting. So just wanted the public to be aware that that is available. We also had the grand opening and the ribbon cutting for Denali. This is one of the new stores in the Wakefield Mall. And they had rock climbing and raffles and desserts and sandwiches. It was absolutely a delightful day, and I've never met such a group of inspiring, pleasant, energetic, just very happy people. The owner of the Wakefield Mall, Jeff, and his wife, Robin, just could not say enough good things about this town. Just went on and on and on for 20 minutes, just bragging about how lucky we are here in South Kingstown. So kudos to everyone. The Peacedale also had their celebration. I was not able to attend. I'm not sure if any of the town council member was able to get there, but looked like they had a good turnout there, and did talk to Leslie Chernod prior to this meeting. So kudos to Peacedale for putting that together. And thanks to Newport Fed for sponsoring an event at the Towers Thursday night. I think it was attended by over 200 people. It was just another great gathering of great minds. I also have received an invitation the town council has to attend a mass at Prout this coming Wednesday. And would like everyone to remember that tomorrow is primary day. And if everybody can get out and vote, that would be great. And there's been some changes in the polls, and at this time, I'm going to ask our town clerk just to speak a little bit about voting tomorrow.
Yes, tomorrow is primary day. We will have 10 polling locations open. Earlier this summer, each elector in South Kingstown was provided with a card notifying them of their new polling location. So if you can check that card, if you're unsure where you're to go to vote tomorrow, please do not hesitate to call. We will tell you where to go, and we just don't want you to get frustrated. We'd rather have you call. The polls open at 7. They close at 8. Every voter will need to show some form of identification. For the September election and the November election, it does not have to be a picture ID. It can be a bank statement, car registration, something of that sort. However, a picture ID is preferable. If you do not have any form of identification, you will be allowed to do a provisional ballot, and we will compare the signatures on the registration card to the ballot that is filled out. Again, if there are any questions, call the Board of Canvassers. Thank you.
Thanks, Dale. I appreciate that. Any other comments here at the table before we move on to the manager's report? Jim?
I just wanted to echo what you said. I wasn't there for the ribbon cutting for Denali, but I had a chance to meet Jeff Levy and his wife, and his compliments towards his council, his compliments towards Steve Alford and the departments in town. Almost had me blushing in embarrassment, but also too sometimes from the council, he couldn't be a better neighbor, nor could we ever have hoped for what has to be called, really a premier mall, and a premier job he does with all his businesses there, and to keep those shops open like the bookstore, which did go out of business, but he put his own folks in there and kept that going. So what a great neighbor to have, and he was very complimentary to this community.
It was wonderful. Wonderful to hear good things. Any other comments here at the table? Okay, we're going to move on to the town manager's report.
First item I'd like to report on is that the Rhode Island Department of Health has issued a health advisory for Bottle Pond off of Route 2, based on evidence of a bloom of a cyanobacteria. This is that blue-green algae growth within the pond. Health departments indicated that this algae may produce a dangerous toxin that is harmful to people as well as animals, or ingested. So at this point,
Is that the fire whistle?
what we're doing is providing a specific notice to the property owners around the pond. We're also posting the pond location where the public access is, providing advisory as to the nature of the algae growth that's within the pond itself. The second item I would report on is that the State of Rhode Island Recycling Program project that released those projects out Kingstown received a check of $55,017.19. Those dollars are not general revenue dollars, but rather dollars that must be used for the specific purpose of advancing and enhancing recycling activities within the community. This is down about $5,000 from what we received in the 11-12 year, but the value of the materials that have been sold are in the decline. A lot of it is the paper cost, or what the paper products will yield in terms of revenue. That's down this year from what it was in the prior year. That bounces back. Hopefully, we'll see somewhere in the $1,000 range on a yearly basis, if not more. I think with the introduction of the St. Stream recycling, the state will see additional materials salvaged, and certainly we should see an increase in volume from South Kingstown, which should translate into additional dollars in future years. So I think it's good news for the community. I think it's also testament to the fact that many people in South Kingstown are taking recycling seriously and are working well both at the transfer station and with the residential trash companies to be able to have a positive program. Be glad to answer any questions that council may have on the two reports issued since the last meeting.
Thank you, Steve. Any questions here at the table? Okay. With that, I will move on to the town solicitor's report.
Nothing to report. Thank you, Ella.
Thank you. And we next have appointments. We have a couple.
I move that we reappoint David Flanders to the Conservation Commission. His term expired in September 2012, and he would be reappointed to a 3-year term, which would bring him to September 2015.
Second?
Motion and second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you.
I also move that we appoint William Litvin to the Recreation Commission. He applied, and he would be appointed for a 3-year term starting now and taking him till September 2015.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. Which brings us to new business. Item A. This is a resolution adopting the Town of South Kingstown Energy Conservation and Management Policy Statement as shown as follows, as further described in a memorandum from the Director of Planning to the Town Manager dated August 21st and entitled Municipal Energy Conservation Policy. Steve.
The policy that's been presented to the council for consideration tonight is really a recognition of actions that the town has taken over the past several years, and also an explanation to the community of the actions that have been taken, and more importantly, asking for greater commitment from the general public in the day-to-day activities that they have in terms of reducing energy consumption. As noted in the correspondence that's provided as background material on the energy conservation and management policy, the town has been involved over the past 2 years with 2 major grants. The first is the Energy Efficiency and Conservation Block Grant. That provided the town with 4 important programs. One was an investment-grade audit, which cost about $32,000. That looked at about 812,000 square feet of municipal and school properties and looked at those facilities as to different things that could be done to reduce energy consumption, whether it was fuel oils, electricity, or other innovations in terms of equipment use or new equipment being purchased. We've used that as a foundation to look at where the best buybacks are in terms of expenditure of dollars. To date, we've completed replacements of the windows and doors at the Public Services Building at a cost of $68,900. again, 100% paid for through grant money. We are in the process of completing the replacement of the heating systems at both the town hall and at the Peacedale Library. The cost of those systems is about $183,000, of which the entire cost will come through the grant itself. Actually, you see about a 20% reduction in energy costs, or about $9,700 a year going forward, based on what the existing rates of fuel oil purchase are today. We're also replacing heating systems within the Silver Lake and pump stations for another $43,000, again being paid for through the grants. The second grant is the Clean Energy and Climate Control, which is an intergovernmental partnership with EPA and several communities, including City of Wall and towns of East Greenwich and South Kingstown. That program will be providing us approximately $50,000 in additional monies that can be used for energy efficiency. The targeted program at this point will be to replace most of the lighting fixtures, both external and internal, to the public safety building. That facility now is 11 years old, going on its 12th year, and we're looking at an approximate savings of around $16,500 a year in energy savings by the replacement of those lights, as well as new energy techniques that would be used to be able to control or to shut down or reduce intensity of lighting throughout the building, or sections of the building, or the exterior of the building itself. I wanted to also give credit to the wastewater program and the multiple changes that they have made, again, on a plant which is going on 37 years. The replacement of equipment that would have to be replaced just based on functional obsolescence, with higher efficiency materials, which also garner grants from National Grid. In 2009, 2 high-efficiency boilers, blowers were installed at the cost of $200,000, with $140,000 coming through National Grid. That reduced the electrical energy consumption by about 30% at that plant. Also, plant lighting was changed over in 2010 at a cost of about $92,000, with a third of that coming through grants. And payback on the 2/3 that didn't come from the grants will be paid back over a 2-year period using dollars from displaced energy dollars that weren't expended. We also have replaced modulated gas boilers at the treatment facility, from $181,000 to $168,000 through grants. Variable speed pumps have been replaced with drives that will make that plant more efficient. So I think what we're trying to demonstrate to the public is that there is a commitment, both at the staff and at the council level, to be able to look further into how this community, in conjunction with other communities and EPA, can continue to try to reduce the carbon footprint within the community itself. And hopefully the policy statement is a commitment statement by the council that it supports these types of activities, and also looks forward to additional education that is available for the general public to be able to look at their own energy uses and things that can be done, particularly with National Grid. As I mentioned in the pre-session, National Grid takes money out of everybody's electrical account on a monthly basis. And that money is held in a reserve fund which is used for energy conservation purposes. Those programs are readily available through the internet for review. They can provide energy savings in terms of rebates on high-efficiency heating systems, as well as refrigerators, and they've also got a quest underway to be able to replace inefficient light bulbs with high-efficiency bulbs at discounted costs. So the public can take a look at those things. They can save money as well as to be more environmentally friendly and other activities. So, with that as an introduction, I request the council give consideration and adoption of the policy statement as presented this evening.
Thank you, Steve. And it's well appreciated, all the work that's been put into a lot of those grants to offset the property tax here with these energy audits. So many, many thanks.
I'd really like to recognize both Jim Laurie and John Shaw for the leadership roles that they've taken in terms of advancing the program, and also looking forward to additional grants that may be out there for additional improvements using the inventory that we have available on different activities that could save either the town or the schools money.
It's wonderful. Well appreciated. Any questions here for Steve? Can I have a motion, please?
I move approval of new business item A.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. New business item B is a resolution authorizing a third amendment of an award of contract previously extended on October 11, 2005 to Synagro Northeast LLC, 1800 Bering Drive, Suite 1000, Houston, Texas, for municipal wastewater sludge transportation, incineration, and disposal, and as further described in a memorandum from the Public Services Director to the Town Manager dated September 5, 2012, and entitled Sludge Incineration Contract Third Amendment. Steve.
The town's existing contract goes through December 31st, 2017. The changes that are recommended at this point are solely the change in the name or ownership of Synagro, as well as their mailing address within the contract. So there is no change other than the corporate changes and the
To approve new business item B?
Second?
Motion and second. Further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Anybody have anything to bring forward before we adjourn? Dale?
Continue license item 6B to the September 24th meeting, please.
That would be great. Do you need a motion? Can we have
I
a
move
motion?
that we continue, what is it, License B to September 24th. And that gives them enough time, right, Dale? Because that event is September 27th.
Yeah, that's fine,
Okay.
as long as the meeting's before. Yeah.
Second?
Motion and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Any other questions before we adjourn? Carol?
I'd just like to say one thing about the energy conservation and management policy. Steve, that just makes me very proud of the town, that, we're a leader in energy conservation, and we're a great role model and throughout the state. So it really was great in this day and age to reduce our carbon footprint and to reduce our energy consumption and all of the above. Keep going. Good work. I think we too quickly went by that. I don't know how that happened, but I just wanted to get that in. Good job, everybody. Keep it up, and hopefully we can all do our small part at home.
Okay, can we have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn?
Second?
Motion and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned, and it is 8:01.